Bay Area modernism influenced more homes throughout America than all other architectural styles combined. Any numerical comparison is not even close. The vast tracts of post-World War II suburban ranch homes are linked directly to the prototypes developed here in the second and third Bay Area styles. After the first Bay Area style of Willis Polk and Bernard Maybeck in the 1890s, William Worcester picked up the baton in the 1920s and founded the second Bay Area style, although it was not called that at the time. Worcester was a California native who, with other like-minded architects, combined a love of the California landscape and its rural buildings with the elemental quality of minimalist Japanese architecture. Their goal were inexpensive homes that allowed the outside in and were easily built of local materials. And this style that was born of California's climate and natural beauty and the Pacific Rim culture would be very different from a style born in Germany or France. So different that the famous architectural critic Louis Mumford coined the term Bay Region style for a 1947 exhibition. And this is his quote: "This exhibition repairs a serious omission in the existing histories of American architecture. It establishes the existence of a vigorous tradition of modern building, which took root in California some half-century ago." Now remember, for Louis Mumford, that would have been in the 1890s. Continuing with the quote, "The style was thoroughly modern. It was not tied to the tags and cliches of the so-called international style, that it made no fetish of the flat roof and did not deliberately avoid projections and overhangs, that it made no effort to symbolize the machine through a narrow choice of materials and forms, that it had a place for personalities as different as Maybeck and Daly and Worcester and Kump." So that's the end of the quote, and Mumford was held in such high regard that his poorly punctuated run-on sentence ran unedited, and as neologism defined the style. But you have to give the guy credit. He really picked up on something that was new and interesting and exciting. And we have these great guys, these great local architects to thank for this very defining style. Now, the characteristics that define this style: simply built of local materials, influenced by California rural buildings. When you think of the unadorned wood-sheathed farmhouses, barns, and sheds, those were the major touchstones for this movement. But they were building in a modern way. And with that came the horizontal emphasis, large glass areas. And these buildings allow the outside in. They were also influenced by Japanese simplicity and the respect for natural materials, and the materials are exposed to view. There are canted box windows started right here in the city at 2660 Divisadero, designed by Dinwiddie. Another defining characteristic are the corner windows and wraparound corner balconies, and you can see that in many of the slides here. When you go by a building and you see that, even if it's a William Worcester brick home, they usually have a wraparound corner balcony, either on an exterior corner or an interior corner. When you see that, you know you've got second Bay Area style. And when we go into third Bay Area style, you will see a very marked distinction between the horizontality of the second Bay Area style and the marked verticality of the third Bay Area style. But for now, if you have canted windows, wraparound corner balconies, corner windows, projections, you pretty well can be assured you've got a second Bay Area style building.